Hey Capricorn, welcome to your June reading. I am just going to shuffle the cards and put them down for us, and then I can begin. So I'm using 3 decks. Okay, we have 2 cards there. Interesting. 3 decks. I'm using Practical Magic Oracle, which is a really good deck actually I'm liking. These are all new decks that I've not yet done readings with other than for myself. So I'm kind of loving having a play with them. I'm using the Solitary Witch Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, which I resonate really well with. All of Lucy Cavendish's things. Oh, what's these cards doing? So if you follow me, you'll know that. Your cards are really jumping. That one. And then I'm using the Mystical Realm Tarot, which was actually kind of fell upon me. I ordered a different deck for my mum for Mother's Day. It's going to be part of a hamper that I kind of was doing for her. And it ended up being mine because the cards that I ordered, they were called the Mystical Realm, but the picture on the imagery, which is the cards I actually wanted for my mum, didn't show up, so they ended up being mine anyway. I put them in my hands. I was like, oh my god, these are mine. They belong to me. So there we go. They're mine. I owe my mum a deck still. Anyway, guys. So we're starting off Capricorn with set boundaries. Set boundaries. Lady of Avalon. Okay, as soon as I look at this card for you, I'm actually reading it different to how I've read this for Taurus and myself when I've had this card come for myself. I actually feel as though this is speaking more very specifically. I feel as though maybe you're allowing certain people access to you, or that your something mentally, something in your mind, something in you internally is allowing things to get to you that technically shouldn't be able to. Something very kind of personal, I feel like. And I feel as though it's time for you to acknowledge and figure out what is actually you in those thoughts and you in that process, and put the walls back up. And these walls are not solid walls. These are not keeping anything out. It's actually kind of deflecting the negativity out. That's where I'm at with this kind of space of what I feel like for you. And it's setting personal boundaries. I feel as though there's access here towards things that do not serve you for your own peace, for your own goodness. I will show you. And it's taking care of yourself in that way. Now this is paired with her herb garden, and this actually seems to be an earthy thing because these 2 cards came out together with Taurus as well. And it's about not allowing other people's things to, entertain your own space. It's time for you to take care of what's in your garden. And she's not bothered by any gossip, by anything going on in anyone else's world, because she's so focused on what she needs for herself. And that's what I'm feeling like. Even both of these cards are together, and if you look at the first one, looks all powerful, deflecting. She's not aggressive. She's not defensive with the sword. It's like a shield more so. So she is defensive, but she's not attacking with this sword. You know what I mean? Like a sword is a weapon. She's not using it like one. She's actually using it as a defensive weapon, which is a totally different thing. And I do feel like perhaps for you, what I'm feeling here that's sort of not feeling how I normally read this card is that perhaps normally if you're holding this sword or this weapon, you would use it to attack. And it's sort of saying, stop doing that. So stop allowing, again, those external sources to come at you where you are reacting, because you have those boundaries that when something comes your way, for example, there's drama, instead of jumping to somebody else's defense because, again, you're getting involved in the drama, you're sitting back and saying, this is not my space, it's not my garden, I'm not getting involved, for your own health is what I actually want to say here. I do feel like don't do that, it's noisy. After I finish this one, we'll go inside for a little bit because my laptop's getting hot too. Yeah? Do you want to start putting away your puzzles and then we can take them inside? Okay, put them in this bag. So my 3-year-old's out here with us. I'm just recording 2 videos and then taking kind of it slow to get these recorded for this month. And yeah, it's very much taking care of your own garden. I do think that there's something lacking here in terms of your garden. That obviously is a metaphor, but it's just basically saying, where you're at right now needs attention. It's not a time to be focusing on anything other than that. I do feel as though, again, you've kind of got this, it's like your groundedness, something that gives you security and support, is not there. There's something fogging and mixing it up, whereas I feel like there's potential here to grow that, to bloom it, to blossom it. But again, it needs your focus on that and not externally, not elsewhere. Start with number 1 right now. The first card we have is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Definitely feel as though something's not flowing right for you. There is a blockage here that I'm sensing. But the Ace of Cups is a really good card to have. In reverse, I would say that your inspiration's not flowing, and it would be exactly what I was saying about this mental blockage, this need to kind of stop allowing things to cause a reaction with you, I guess. I do again get these explosions of emotions coming from this in reverse. I don't feel like you are in control of how you are emotionally feeling. This can be that, things are overwhelming right now. I could definitely get that vibe from this, but I do feel as though it's more, again, it's something that you haven't felt comfortable in exploring yourself. It's like if you go into those depths, you're expecting that explosion. But the thing is, when we don't actually explore our emotions, explore how we're feeling, tend to those feelings, that's when we get the explosions. So for example, in relationships, when we are in relationships with somebody, if we're not openly communicating with them and we're keeping some things to ourselves, and it can be something as basic as the way that they wash the dishes is getting on my nerves, right? But you keep it into yourself until eventually they're doing it that way one day and you just go, oh, for fuck's sake, you're not doing it fucking right. You're being aggressive, you're overreacting, you're being irrational, because you've had that one annoying thing, and this is just something really, like I'm using this example, but you know what I mean? That's a big reaction to something that's not worthy or deserving of that reaction. And this is what I get this sense of, that being something that could be affecting how you are functioning within your life. And I do get the sense again that you're not showing up potentially in your life too with that. So keep that in mind. Next, we have 9 of Wands. Definitely feel that you are working hard to rebuild yourself from this. So to me, I feel as though this is guidance to sort of suggest where you may need to be nurturing for yourself during this time. But I do feel like you're trying your best to do that. And I do think you are actually beginning to create this solid foundation for yourself. I do feel, again, you being mentally wounded. If you look at this imagery with this 9 of Wands, he has this headscarf. It's making me feel for you that, again, is mentally wounded. And again, it could be because you are literally working yourself to the bone to rebuild something that, again, you're not actually taking care of the important parts of this, which, again, I do feel is you. That's it. It's taking care of that. And taking care of the needs there, because the rest does not and will not work and come into place where, again, sometimes we work so hard to achieve something. So let's say we are saving for something. We work so hard with the saving that we don't actually enjoy ourselves during the process. This could be saving for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or something where you are limiting yourself during that time for anything. And especially Capricorn energy, I feel like you have this ability to really be so logical that you don't take care of the enjoying that process, like treats. And how I would work with budgeting and doing it is like, I sort of have this, okay, when you save X amount, we can go out for dinner, we can buy ourselves that outfit. It's that kind of thing of treating yourself so that it's not a chore, it's not draining you mentally, physically, and taking all of that livingness out of yourself to the point where you're like, hang on, what was even the point of this? And you know logically what that point was, but you're not a logical machine. You are a person with feelings. You are somebody who also needs nourishing and nurturing to be at your full potential, to actually appreciate what you achieve, or else by the time you get exactly what you wanted, it doesn't seem all that great because it wasn't perhaps worth all the effort that you put in. Keep that in mind. Emotional strength, the Eye of the Storm. This is definitely a more peaceful time for you, so it's the right time to do this for yourself. I do feel as though there's miracles happening, as though, again, you're starting to see the light within the darkness, perhaps. That's kind of seems very dramatic, but that's what it feels like for you. I am loving the imagery on this card. I will show you. I am outside, so the lighting is a little terrible to work with. But yeah, she is literally in the eye of the storm. It looks really energetic. I do feel as though you have this potential of turning a new leaf for yourself, of really working through something that's difficult for you. This is the crone in winter is paired with this. I love her. Look at her. She's so cute. It's a time for taking harvest. Again, taking advantage of that calm before the storm. Things might be getting a bit hectic for you again in the future. So take advantage of this moment to, again, take care of your basic nurturing needs during this time. She is warm. She is like flourishing in herself, actually, is what I feel from her. And the same with this emotional stress one. I feel as though it's a time to take care of number one, of nurturing and giving yourself what you need. In this crone in winter, she is really layered up, and she's going out in the cold. She's layered up. She has a hood up. Her hair is neatly tied so that she's able to do what she needs to do while she's outside, is how I'm interpreting this for you. And it just feels like you need to do what you need to do during this time. Again, stop focusing on the external. It will fall into place. Nine of Pentacles, definitely a time of you building something and getting exactly what you desire. It is a fruitful card, this. It's kind of as though financially you'll be great. I feel as though you're going to be in a position where you just feel more confident and comfortable in yourself. So I'm loving that. I'm kind of getting this need to relax with this as well, and it's like being in a position to be able to do just that. So keep that in mind. We have this 8 of Swords in reverse, so I do feel as though you do see exactly where you're at right now in terms of, I feel like, again, this logical sense of you knowing what you need to do and being very, very analytical around it rather than emotional. But I don't think that is the best for you, Capricorn. I'm getting a lot of emotion in this, like it needs to be seen. But I just get this sense with this, it's saying you are kind of detaching from the emotion. So while you're seeing what's in front of you, you're not processing it on an emotional level. It's literally kind of a protective layer that you have going on here. I would say the advice being with this is to allow yourself to feel and realize that that is actually part of what you're going through. It's not a result of what you're going through. It's part of it. When we work with our emotions, when we work with how we're feeling, that actually kind of drives it in a way that is very different to just going autopilot one way. We're actually getting what we dream, what we wish, and we're actually kind of really present and powerful within us. Sorry, my son is playing with the background now. And this is what I feel is missing for you, and why maybe when you're accomplishing things they don't feel as fulfilling, because I feel as though you're not allowing it to be because it's what you want to do or because this is what you felt was right. You're just doing it because it seems the right thing to do. It's logical to do that, so I'm just going to do that. So be a bit mindful of that kind of thought process, because you're coming into a new beginning. We had 2 of these cards come up of the practical magic ones. Connect to the land and new beginnings. So definitely need to be tending some kind of land, some kind of growth in your life as well. The fact it's paired with new beginnings, I would say that you are crafting your new beginning, you're creating it. So what do you want your new beginning to look like? What do you want or more so, what do you want in the future? What is it that you're aspiring to? These are the questions I kind of want you to ask yourself. You are definitely driving this way and you're creating it. There's a little kangaroo on this, look. The wallabies, and it's like my lavender. She's adorable. Nature is supporting you. I feel like if you're thinking about something that might make you feel good. It literally could be something to do with outdoors and nature. I do feel like magical wise, using nature, Mother Nature, and kind of the cycles of nature. So using, again, we're coming into winter in Australia, so I would be saying go with the wintry vibes of harvesting, of taking care of yourself, of nourishing yourself, warming yourself, that kind of energy. That is what I would say would be the guidance with that card. The New Beginning card, you're really supportive with the energy. That this is what this card says to me all the time when I read it. It's like you're supported by everything around you. This is an opportunity for you to take advantage of this and go for exactly what you desire. And paired with that, connect with the land. I would definitely say that working within nature and doing things that you love, specifically if it is nature-based. For example, myself, I love going for walks in nature. It really helps heal me, helps giving me direction because I'm able to get my thoughts straight. It's kind of like that, but your own interpretation of that. But again, taking your role as well. I feel like being true to your own authentic energy is in your best interest. Justice in reverse. Okay, interesting. So I do feel as though something's being imbalanced, and it may still be in imbalanced, so not balanced. But I feel like it's for a reason. I'm getting it's kind of like it's for a reason. It has to be this way. And to me, that's because you needed this big life change. You needed something to shake you up because, again, being imbalanced to me is like you've been like that for a while. And yeah, it's paired with the Hangman in reverse, which means like I kind of feel for both of these cards actually are giving me this sense of you needed to be taken away from being controlling, from being the one that's kind of, again, autopilot, being very logical within the way you are. I feel like you're trying to be more urged to be more free, carefree, more, again, of the land rather than of society. I hope that makes sense to you because it doesn't 100% make sense to myself. I'm getting like, again, your heart needs you to see something as well. And things are a little bit topsy-turvy. It's like at the moment things are a little bit crazy, a little bit like confusing for you of like this is not how things should have been, this is not how I should be, and yet here I am and I'm in this situation. And I do feel like it's a love and hate. I feel like there's aspects of this kind of craziness that you're in, and it just feels like craziness, Capricorn, that you are enjoying, and that's the whole point. It's supposed to show you that, but there are parts of it that's not fulfilling to you, and again, that's a part of it. It's make you realize that. And perhaps this is something that you saw for yourself, like a situation you're in. You saw this for yourself, that it would be great for you, but there's something missing. So it's to show you had to go through that to see that, so that you are able to know exactly that. I do feel like there is wisdom for you. Again, it's like it's coming to you, but it's not quite here yet. The Justice card could also mean that something might not have gone your way, but again, it could potentially lead you to something better and or a better way of seeing as well with that. It's like as though something might not have gone in your favor, but it was supposed to not to, because perhaps, and again, I feel like for you, Capricorn, if you are just given something like exactly what you want or exactly what you crave, again, it just won't feel fulfilling. It might be what you think you want. It might be a winnings. It might be getting the person you want or something like that. It won't be fulfilling if you never had to work to get to that. And that's a little bit what I feel like with this energy. It is a time for wishing though. This is after this. I kind of feel like you do need to really think about what do you want? What are you craving during this time? And wishes can come true. This is exactly what the wishes one sort of says. Now that is paired with that connect with the land and new beginnings. Like they're kind of in the same space. But I feel as though it is as we're moving on as well onto this final column. There are little hopes and dreams of yours, and I just feel like you don't dare to dream or think of them. I need you to do just that. Get thinking. Big picture. What do you want? Have a think on that. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. So you've had your adventure. I do feel as though it's time to calm down with the adventure. Again, we're not looking externally now. I feel like you need to be looking internally. Externally is not going to validate you as much as you think it will. This is a very interesting reading. I've never read quite like this, I don't think. And we have the King of Pentacles in reverse again as well. It's like you have everything you need already, but you don't see it. That's what I'm feeling here. It's like you're always looking on the outside. You're looking for something to fulfill you, something to kind of fill the void. But the thing is, you're not actually looking at the void. You're not thinking, like, why is there a void there? And I do feel like it's because you have a lot of healing to do, Capricorn. And I know that sounds stressful, and but honestly, if we don't look at it, if we don't see it, and I feel like you very much need to be pushed into that during this time, because it's scary for you. Now, the thing is, with the energy we're working with at the moment, if something's scary and we fear it and we don't want to do it, like, this is very much an apprehension, it's usually because we do need that. That's what we need to be seeing. That's what we need to be doing. Start pushing yourself past that comfort zone to do the work that's going to get us to the, wow, I'm so happy, I'm so content with life, this is exactly where I want it to be. To get to that, you have to fix the wounds of you, or else, again, you will get it, sure, but you won't feel as fulfilling as it should do, because, again, something in there needs your attention. And that's what I'm getting here. I feel like you actually have everything that you need with those wishes, with the aspirations, with those true desires. You have it already. You don't need X, Y, Z to get there. But you need to see that. And I do feel like this whole reading is that something you need to see, that you need to work on, that you need to be healing for yourself. And it's not going to be external help. And again, you can get help, go see a therapist if this is something that requires that kind of professionalism, for sure. And this is saying that. But what I'm saying is, it's like nobody else is going to be able to be that band-aid that repairs you. Remember, band-aids don't fix things. They just protect you from getting an infection. So while it's nice to have the band-aid, you still need to take care of cleaning the wound, paying attention to it in order to heal from it. You get my analogy. It might be a little bit flawed, but you understand what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. I actually think this is quite amazing reading, but definitely make sure that don't be so logical. There's no need for it. No need. Coming from somebody who, actually, I'm quite logical too. I feel like I'm a happy mix, but who knows? Probably me just speculating myself. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next month. Thank you so much, guys.